Hey everybody, Kimberly here, and I've got a two-player 15-minute game that reminds me of Battle Line and/or Shot and Totten if you're more familiar with that version. And what it is essentially this territory board that you place between players where there are 5 different locations that you are essentially vying for power and control in lone wolves. You are playing these wolf factions out. There are 5 different factions, and the numbers go from 2 to 7. So there are 30 cards in the game, and the really cool thing about the game is that players are going to be playing tricks. So there are going to be 13 tricks in a game because players will shuffle up these cards. These are the cards for the game. You'll take out 4 of these cards and put them back in the box, not knowing which of these suits or those factions of wolves or numbers have been removed. You'll also not play with 3 random scar tokens. So here's where you place those scar tokens in these 5 regions. You're going to have 2 scars that are face down, and you'll have 1 scar that is face up. And the reason there are scars is because if a player succeeds and wins a trick, one of the 13 hands in the game, you get to keep the value of your wolf played. The opponent turns it over to the one side, but you get a scar. And so scars are going to help you become stronger in the territory you're in or possibly other territories. So it's really, really cool. Let me show you. This is my hand. I just randomly shuffled up, dealt 13 cards to my opponent, 13 cards to me. And I'm going to look at my cards here, and I'm going to see a variety of things. I've got, first off, this is going to be the suit. And you've got great pictures here and colors associated with it, but you also have iconography. So the circle, or that kind of ring, is this gray wolf. I've got this one right here. This is going to be that kind of like desert pampas place. It's got a little 2 mountains, maybe craggy zone. Here's the kind of lush jungle forest zone. You've got 2 little forest trees. Right here I've got this is kind of like the mountain icy region with a hex inside of a hex. And then lastly, I've got this volcanic region over here, and it looks like it's got a little volcano, and this is red. So the colors really do match the regions quite well, and there's really great iconography and really cool pictures. So again, it's 2 to 7, and the only 2 cards that have special abilities are the 2 and the 3. So if you're playing a 2 out and your opponent plays a 7, then you are going to essentially beat them. This is the only special card that beats another card that's not higher, because in trick-taking games, one player is going to lead with a particular suit, in this case a faction of wolves, and if the player has a card of that matching suit, you have to play. That's required. You have to follow suit. Now if you don't, you play off suit. And there is a chance in the middle of the game for there to become a trump suit, which is cool because you don't start with the trump suit. So if I lead with a 2, thinking that my opponent has the 7, which I don't have, I have the 4, the 3, the 2, the 5. The only one they could have is a 6 or a 7, and the 7 might be in the box. The 6 might be in the box. I might force my opponent's hand, but it's really, really hard to tell. And they're probably wondering, wow, if I've got so few yellows, maybe my opponent, me, Kimberly, has the other ones in there. So this is played either first or second, and if it's the 7, then they beat it, which is pretty cool. The 3 allows you to flip a scar in the region you played your card into over from face down to face up, and it just gives you more information about what that scar token is. So I'm looking at my cards, and let's say I start first. If I start off and play my 7 right away, I risk, as you can see here with my cards, my opponent playing the 2 and essentially beating my 7. So I'm going to start off with my 6, and I'm going to see what I can flush out from my opponent. Now, when you play your card down, you can play it into any region. You can play it to any territory. It doesn't have to be played into the territory of the matching color. And I'm essentially saying I want to get 6 points of control value in that particular region. So let's say I go over here because this is worth 10 points at the end of the game currently. And that's another feature of the game. If I win this zone by having the most value points compared to my opponent, then I'm going to win this. But there are some tiles like this one right here that says flip over the hex paw tile, and that's this right here. And on the other side, you'll find that the value is not the same. So it goes here, there's a 6 and a 10, and you'll see the number at the very bottom. This is a 9 right now, but it could become a 5. This is a 7, could become a 12, 6, 10, 7, 12. And so these tiles are out there, but they could be flipped by either opponent to help or to hurt. Really, really fascinating gameplay. And again, those are the scar tokens, which is what you get when you lose. So I'm going to play my 6 here, and then I'm going to pretend like I don't know what's going on in my hand. And I'm looking out here thinking, okay, as the opponent, I must play one of these 3 cards. So I'm going to put those back right here. It has to be the 2, the 3, or the 4. And playing the 2 as the opponent doesn't beat the 6. So I'm going to say the 2 is not going to be part of my choice strategy-wise. Getting information about the scar tokens would be great. And then a 4 could not beat anything else because, again, this player has the 2, 3, and the 4. So the 4 is not going to do anything. So let's maybe say we do the 3. Now here's the other interesting feature of the game. This person does not have to play in the same region as the person who played. They're simple, the only thing they have to follow is suit. So that's the basic rule, is you must play in suit. So let's say this person says, I'm going to lose. A 3 does not beat a 6. So for this trick, this card is going to actually become a lone wolf. But while they're getting an advantage of playing this card, they're going to try to find a place that it would be really good for them. So let's say they play over here. They're going to play their 3 down. And now we are going to evaluate who played the higher number, and it's going to be this person. So I won the hand with the 6. This person, when they play this card, will get to do their 3 action, which is flipping over one of these scar tokens, which is just the region they played into. So let's have them flip this over. All right, so now we have 2 informations about this particular region, and the reason it matters is because they lost. They'll turn it over to a 1, which is a strength of 1, and now they get to take one of those scars. And when you want to know what those scars are, all you do is just take a look in the book. There is a really nice list here at the end, and it says here that this one is the +1, 1 strength value for each wolf card, including lone wolves, in the same side of the territory. So if this is taken and then played into this space, it would make this wolf worth 2, and every other wolf played here +1. Not bad, especially when you're trying to, build up your strength here for a 12. This is a big scoring opportunity. This one here says 2 honor points for each lone wolf card on the same side of the territory, which now would make this worth 3. So you don't have to play, though, in the space where you take the tile. But you come here, look at those scar token effects, and we just keep that handy. And then you just take one of these, which could be the face down one. You just are risking what it says. You take one and then you place it into one of the 3 spaces on any of your regions on your side of the board. These help a player. And so I could put it here, or that player could put it there, or they could take this one and place it over here, hoping to play cards down to beat that 6. It could go anywhere. So again, anywhere, but let's just put it here since there's some momentum for that player to have 3 points of strength over here just by playing a lone wolf or losing, right? So losing is not the worst, but the person who won the trick is going to play and start again. So I'm going to look in my hand and play out a card, and it's going to be played with the card up so that they can match in suit. And then again, I pick whichever one I want to play into my region. There is a limit though. For each different territory, you can only have a total of 6 cards played. Total, not just on my side or their side. But if there are 6 cards, I have 3 here and 3 here, that region is done. There are no ways to add cards. There might be ways to add these scar tokens as long as you have one of those 3 spaces free. Now, once scar tokens have been removed from all the space in one territory, the very first time this happens, players take this moon, this full moon token, and they place it in that space. This now says that the red cards, the volcano cards, are now trump. They are trump cards in your hand, which could be led with, or they could be won with if a player does not have the suit that the lead player starts with, and then they play a red card, they win. So this becomes that, and it becomes 5 more points of value if you win this territory at the end of the game. Now, the second time that another space is cleared of scar tokens, the Blood Moon comes out, and then that becomes the new trump suit. And this is no longer the trump suit, it now is the black ring cards. And again, the player who wins this value will also get 3 more bonus points to add to their score. So there are 13 turns in the game, and players will simply play 1 card down into a space, into a region, and then the follow player must follow in suit if they can. And I think this has just so much replayability because of the cards that you take out of the deck. You don't know which 4 come out. The fact that you've got your scar tokens placed out randomly, there are 3 that you don't use, and because you can actually flip the value tokens in each of these zones based on your scar tokens. It's a really fascinating back and forth game that incorporates trick-taking into what I consider that battle line. I play a card, you play a card, and we're really vying for a particular region in strength, which is so fun. And this game is 15 minutes long. And if you'd like to play with the advanced rule set, you simply flip this board over to the scar side, and it creates asymmetry for players, and also just a new experience with this. It comes in a really nice small box, great components, super easy to set up, and really straightforward to play. So a lot of possibilities here. Now, there is the possibility, as with any card game or any trick-taking game that you can imagine, of someone being dealt just a lot of, dynamite cards. The higher cards, the cards maybe more of a weight in particular suits, which just means play again. And so you can play again and hopefully outthink and out-strategize your opponent in this tactical trick-taking back and forth 2-player 15-minute game. A lot of great things to like about Lone Wolves. All right, everybody. I'll see you later. Bye.